Welcome back to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Talk Show. I'm your host, Sherry Marie Rovirosa, here with our very special guest, Heidi Fossali. Heidi has an amazing bio, and I wanted to tell you all about her. She is a best-selling author. She's an ICF International Coach Federation certified personal coach, an Energy Leadership Index Master Practitioner, an American Council on Exercise, certified personal fitness trainer, and nutritional coach. Plus, she's a beauty and image consultant. She works with women who are at midlife crossroads, helping them to get clear on what they want from the next phase of their life. From London to Monaco, LA to St. Tropez, she is the Midlife Motivator and passionate about helping women to reconnect with their midlife mojo, move forward with clear intentions, purpose, energy, and self-confidence. Well, it's so good to have you here with us today, Heidi.
So good to be here. Thank you, Sherry.
Yes, welcome. So we would love to hear about your background, and it sounds very, very exciting, and your life and how you got to this point where you are now.
Yes. I'm English, from a large family in the southwest of England, one of 5 children. I'm just the one who flew the nest, the only one. The rest of the family are all within 10 miles of each other. Became an exchange student when I was just 17 after my exams in America. Got that American bug. After that, came back, did some more studying, moved to London, worked for a music management company, which was kind of cool and sexy at the time. Was a Marlboro girl. So I was decorating Formula One cars and Formula One drivers at sort of rock concerts and racetracks, which was very cool. So I did that at the weekend and worked for this music management company during the week.
That sounds exciting.
It was so cool. I did a bit of modeling at the time too. And then I knew that I wanted to keep traveling. There was a lot of world to see. So I sort of worked through that 6 months, saved my money and bought a round the world ticket. So I decided to go around the world for a year.
Wow.
So I packed a backpack, took off. My parents were horrified. They're very sort of regular, normal, beautiful family, married, in love after 65 years, very classic family. So I was definitely sort of doing something a little different. So took off went out by the east, back via the west. So out via Singapore, Indonesia, Bali, Sydney, Australia, Perth, Sydney, then came back through LA. And that was kind of cool because when I had finished my studying and I'd come back from America, I decided to take a summer in the south of France. And I'd gone to Monaco because my father had a business client or someone down there. And I ended up sleeping on his floor for a week and then getting a job at the Fairmont as a cocktail waitress. So this gave me my little Monaco sort of input. And I did meet a boy called Jean-Pierre.
A romance in the midst of all of that.
I know. My first love, I think. Anyway,
How exciting.
After I left Jean-Pierre at the train station when my contract ran out as a cocktail waitress at the Fairmont Hotel, which was amazing. Got a few stories to tell you about that.
Oh my.
That's when I took off on this sort of round the world trip. So I'd had this south of France sort of sprinkle, and then I go off around the world, which was amazing. And Jean-Pierre had decided to go to America after he finished university. So as I'm coming back via the West, leaving Australia, coming back through America back to England, I might call Jean-Pierre. So I called Jean-Pierre, arrived in LA, me with my scruffy backpack, long scruffy hair and baggy shorts and a yellow t-shirt. He very chic in his beautiful the beautiful shoes, this little sexy pants and this sexy and I arrived like, his little Gucci loafers were looking fantastic. But anyway, so then we sort of hit it off, and there I was in LA, but timing was wrong. I wasn't ready to settle down, and he was still climbing the ladder. You know, it's the American dream for him. He started at the bottom when he was climbing the ladder. So I left, came back to London, went to fashion college. I had worked for a fashion company in Australia and got that fashion bug. So I came back, went to fashion college, just a 2-year course, more buying, merchandising, sort of psychology of fashion. Loved it. And then I also was always very, very much into sport, fitness from school age, always that gym girl who was always running, doing something. So after my fashion, I worked for a fashion company for 2 years in Mayfair in London, designer clothes. We used to have fashion shows, and all the buyers from all the boutiques around England used to come and buy from us. And then we would, that was fantastic. So I did that for 2 years, then worked for a sports company for a year. So I loved the couture and also the sport, which then I decided I wanted to go back into my other passion. So, you know, traveling, my fashion was a real passion, and fitness was the other one. So I jumped into fitness, started working at this amazing gym and spa in London, worked in their beauty department, set that up for them, and absolutely loved it. So then I thought to myself, well, you know, I need to put all these things together and create my own consultancy. So I went to the bank, made a business plan. They gave me some money, and I created Be Healthy, Be Beautiful, Be Stylish.
Oh, I love it.
I put a little advert in the back of Vogue, the size of a stamp.
Oh.
If people know what stamps are.
Right.
And I started working, people, you know, a lady from a big law firm contacted me, and I used to go to her law firm. I used to exercise in the gym with her as her trainer. Then at weekends, I'd go to her house. I would do hair, skin, makeup. I went to do shopping for her, put everything on hold. She'd tell me her schedule. So I had this consultancy. It was amazing. And then I decided I kept in touch with Jean-Pierre. Christmases, we used to have a little hello, how are you? Happy Christmas. And then this year, we're talking, you know, a span about years had passed since in Monaco and, you know, and meeting Jean-Pierre. And so he said, you know, by this he was in LA doing really well. Decided to meet for the weekend in New York. I flew halfway. He flew LA. We met in the middle. We decided that we were going to make a chance, make a change. We were going to do it differently. And would I go to LA? So I said, well, you know, I've got to pay the bank back. I'll move to LA. So I moved to LA. And then we got married, and we had an amazing wedding. I got certified in LA as a personal trainer with the ACE. And, you know, he was working at a huge company. It was a private dining club and country club. So, of course, all the ladies wanted to be, you know, working with the manager's wife, girlfriend.
Yes.
So I was busy and different hats I was wearing every day. Sometimes I was training. Sometimes I was in their fridge, you know, pulling it apart and helping them get healthier food, giving them sort of diet plans. Sometimes I was working with them with their wardrobe. Sometimes it was hair, skin, and makeup. And I was in my zone, totally in my lane. It's who I am. Fantastic. Then we decided to buy a small house in Malibu, bought a small house. We had an amazing wedding at the country club. Everybody came from Europe, my family, his family. You know, his family some of them hadn't even been on a plane before. So they were flying from France,
Wow.
from the French Riviera, and mine were flying from England. Had an amazing wedding, a lovely house. Heidi gets pregnant. And within 4 years, I have 2 beautiful daughters.
Oh my goodness.
My favorite thing in the whole wide world is being a mom.
Yeah.
So then I sort of concentrated on that. Was still doing some personal training in Malibu, either at the gym or at these beautiful homes with these amazing clients who had just gobsmacking drop dead homes. And we used to exercise on the beach, and it was fabulous. And then children were about 6 and 4, and we decided, you know, what do we want to do? Do we want to stay here away from our families, or raise our children and put them in the, European school system? So we finally decided to move back to Europe, and neither of us were very keen on the idea, but we just thought it was the best thing at the time. And there were a few cracks in the dam in the relationship, so I was, feeling a little bit sort of out of sorts. We moved back to Europe. Then things got tough. Things got really tough then. Communication broke down with my husband. He wasn't happy to be back in Europe. We wondered if we'd done the right thing. So I was just looking after my little children, my little girls, like, mother hen. And, 3 more years passed until I got to the place where I feel lost. I feel unloved. I feel invisible. I feel frustrated. I feel underappreciated. Is this the life? Is this what I want for me and my girls? And it took me a long time. My BS, my belief systems coming from the family background I came from kept me stuck in my BS. My belief systems and values kept me there. And that was what I was taught until the time when I decided that, beliefs are given to me. Beliefs are, assimilated from your environment. And I decided that I had to take charge of my happy. I had to get back in the driver's seat of my life and stop giving my happy away for someone else to deal with. But remembering I had 2 little children, I'm in France, don't speak the language, no job, no money.
Oh my goodness.
So that's when I really had to find that courage, because believe me, that inner voice was telling me to sit still. And my parents, of course, flew over to help talk me off the ledge.
Oh my goodness. So you had entered your own midlife crossroads yourself, right?
Yes.
So you have an understanding of what a lot of women go through at that age.
Totally.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back, and I can't wait to hear the rest of Heidi's exciting global jet story, and this amazing life that she has had is just really amazing. So we will be back right after the commercial break, and we'll see you then.